In recent years, Kanye West has been on a steep decline in terms of mental health, and what some would say probably also a deep decline in artistical talent. Once regarded as a musical genius, he's now regarded as somebody who is simply just provocative just for the sake of getting some clicks online. Now, in my opinion, you can say what you want about Kanye, but I do think that he is a musical genius, and I do think that talent or skill within him is still there. However, it does not excuse the crazy shit and things that he's been saying and releasing online. We're not going to go into a huge deep dive into all of his other tweets or things like that, but what we are going to be talking about today is essentially his new songs. Specifically, we're going to be talking about a song called World War III and his most recent song that's called Heil Hitler. Yes, you heard that right. The song title is called Heil Hitler. Now, I should say that we're not going to be doing some sort of lyrical analysis on what the song means, if there's any hidden meaning. I'm going to be kind of just taking it straight up face value, and that kind of seems what the intention of the song is supposed to be. We can start off with World War III first. The song essentially kind of talks about how, I suppose, Kanye West is like he's being seen as some bully. He's kind of just going crazy on Twitter. He also talks about how he voted for Trump and not for Biden, how he didn't vote for the people who went to Epstein's island, and he also talks about how people kind of compare him, or how he kind of, I guess, how people compare him to Hitler, how he's talking about how can I be like Hitler, and then he also drops how he says, when I'm just a fucking hard R N-word, and that's what he states essentially. Now, the public's reaction to the song was pretty funny. I was also my same reaction. I thought, wow, instrumental wise, this song is actually kind of, it slaps, until you actually listen to the lyrics, and it's just like, gee, like fuck, like Jesus Christ, man. It's just like one of those songs you hear online that sounds really fucking good, but then the artist starts singing in it, and it's just like, fuck, you know, now the song's fucking ruined. But there's not much to say about that one. It got pulled down from most streaming platforms, from my understanding. I found it on YouTube's. I also know that it's on X, or it's on Twitter. I'm not calling it fucking X. What is more interesting though that I do want to talk about is his most recent song, Heil Hitler. And I don't even know if I can actually see it on YouTube, but we're gonna figure it out anyways. This is for informational purposes only. Fucking administrators, whatever it's called you. Kanye talks about in the song is essentially how people kind of perceive him on Twitter, but they're not really perceiving how he feels. Also brings up how essentially his kids were taken away from him, how most things were taken away from him. Guess like a lot of his money was taken away from him for all the things that he's been doing and whatnot. And you could argue it's fucked up, right? I mean, in America, we have the right to free speech and to say essentially whatever we are allowed to say without getting arrested. But issue is that only extends to law. It doesn't really extend to how private companies or people or the public will react to it. You're not going to get arrested for talking about how much you hate a certain group of people. You won't be arrested for it, at least for now. Well, we're not really gonna get into that, but anyways, you're allowed to speak negatively about the president, about the country, about anyone you want. However, it doesn't stop companies, private companies especially, like streaming platforms, music streaming platforms like Spotify, YouTube, stuff like that, to react to the things that you have been saying. It's kind of like how on college campuses, right? If you get caught saying some really crazy shit and it's been posted online, the college is going to most likely react, and it's going to reprimand you by either expelling you or doing some sort of reprehension to you. But legally, you're not going to get arrested for saying some crazy shit. Now, this song too itself is, if you take out the lyrics and if you take out the sample, and yes, there's a sample at the end of the song, and it's literally, Kanye sampled Hitler. That's what he literally did. At the end of the song, it's fucking Hitler giving one of his speeches, and it's literally what the sample is. If you take out that and you take out the lyrics, the instrumentals, unfortunately, they do bang, and it fucking sucks because the instrumentals are great, but fucking L, this whole fucking song is crazy, dude. Like I don't even understand what was going through his head. I guess I just don't understand what he's feeling, like he said in the lyrics, right? Honestly, like despite it being quote unquote catchy, it's just the content of it is just atrocious and disgusting in my opinion. Like I mean, hot take, guys, like hot take, Hitler, not a very good guy, you know, not a very good guy. And I know there's some people who bring up like, oh, what about Churchill, Stalin, all these other fucking participators in World War II, right? I mean, I'm not arguing that they were fucking good people, but at the same time, you know, Hitler was a pretty bad fucking person. Like, let's get that straight up to the fact. 6 million dead under his watch, purposely with intent to actually exterminate this 6 million Jews and other people that were that suffered from the Holocaust or victims of the Holocaust. But what does it say about Kanye West? Has he completely lost it, or is he just intentionally being provocative? Now, I will tell you this right off the bat. I do like a lot of Kanye's songs, a lot of his old ones especially. I'm not like some sort of diehard fan. I know there are a lot of people who say that Kanye West essentially saved their life with some of his albums, such as Graduation, College Dropout, stuff like that. I was never in that camp when it comes to Kanye songs. I do recognize his talent as a musician. I do recognize the fact that in most public's opinion, at least, that he is an actual musical genius. But in recent years, I do think there has been a decline with his content and the quality of it as well, especially with his Bully album, or I think it was like Vultures 2, actually, I forget, but he started incorporating like AI slop into it, and it's just fucking, it feels soulless or whatnot, and it's like a lot of the songs are just like, it doesn't hit, it's just kind of like, it's just bad, it's what it is, it's just bad. I don't know, I'm not really gonna give like a fucking musical analysis on it. I'm not fucking Anthony Fantano who's gonna be dissecting it bit by bit. No, it's just Kanye West has really just fallen off the deep end, and a lot of it has to do with people being taking advantage of him, but also a lot of it has to do with the fact that his mental conditions, and as well as like his abusive pattern onto himself. Kanye has always had some sort of ego with him. He always spoke in a way where he always viewed himself as to be the best and the greatest of all time. And at the time, that was fine because he could actually back it up. But it wasn't until what some people would say, until the death of his mother, that things started to really go downhill for him. He started to develop a much more brazen attitude. His ego gone way higher. He started to surround himself with people who were just essentially yes men around him, who pretty much just go along with whatever he says and whatever he wanted. That mixed with his bipolar disorder would pretty much create a terrible combo. I mean, recently we've been seeing Kanye West associate himself with white supremacist Nick Fuentes and fucking red pill ballsack Sneeko over here. And I don't think these people are associating with Kanye West just because, well, it's Kanye West. It seems like they're taking advantage of a mentally ill man who is open to essentially anything and trying to use him to spread their fucking ideology all over the place. And the worst part is, nobody can say, yo, Kanye, this is a stupid idea. And a lot of it has to do with his fucking ego, right? Like, he is a very egotistical person who, if you ever try to like talk him down of something that he wants to do, he'll most likely just get rid of you from his inner circle. And like I said before, that mix of his bipolar disorder where he's doing constant crazy things and constant crazy mood swings, it's just a very, very bad behavior, especially with his abuse of drugs such as nitrous oxide, which, by the way, nobody should be doing that. Galaxy gas shit, nobody should be doing that at all. PSA, whatever that shit's called, that shit melts your brain. Most drugs kind of like melt your brain if it's like abused long enough. Nitrous oxide will literally melt your brain off rip. Like, that shit is bad for your fucking brain. Nobody should be doing that, by the way, so don't even do that. And at first, when Kanye West was kind of going through this whole downfall era, I would assume this kind of really started going down, completely downhill, after his release of the Donda album. And for what I saw during the time was that fans essentially kind of like egged it on for a bit because it's Kanye West. Like, oh, you don't get it, Kanye West is just a genius, the way he's just saying what needs to be said, or he's just saying things that you just don't really understand, like you're not really interpreting correctly what he's saying. I believe it's essentially just the idea that he's being provocative, or he's just kind of rage baiting just for attention, or to kind of spread like a deeper message on the internet. Nowadays, it just feels he's not doing it to spread a message, he's just doing it just to get attention. Essentially, that's what it seems like he's doing. I mean, apparently his new album that he's gonna drop is called fucking Cup. That's what it's called. Like, come on. Come on, man. Like, what are we doing here? Now, this repeated behavior from Kanye West has given me an idea to dub something called the Kanye Cycle. Now, this probably has been done before or whatever, but I like to think I came up with this on my own. Essentially, what I've seen from Kanye West in these past years is something like this. It goes along like this. Here's the pattern. Kanye does something outrageous, or he says something outrageous online. There's public backlash to it, and then there's also people who support Kanye. And then what happens is that a snippet of a song that he's working on, or a photo of Kanye West looking healthy, is released. Then what happens? Oh my gosh, we are so back. Kanye West is so back, says a lot of his fans. And then what happens? After that, Kanye West does something outrageous, or he releases something where he says something outrageous online. That's essentially what the cycle is every fucking time. This is essentially what keeps him in the spotlight and kind of keeps his fans in keeps his fans as his fans. As of me editing this video right now, Kanye West has released some new tweets. I know. Kanye tweeting something is essentially like telling fucking the president a second plane has hit the fucking tower or some shit like that. But he has released some new tweets talking about, thank you God, I forgive those who caused me pain. God forgive me for the pain I caused. I love all people. I am done with anti-Semitism. This is essentially what I'm talking about, right? And the reaction to these kind of tweets is pretty as I stated before, it's like, oh my God, we're so back. And pretty much one of the main reasons as to why he probably does this a lot of times because he has an album rolling out, so he just tries to get a lot of attention, and then boom, when he drops the album, everyone always had all their eyes on him already just because of all the shit he's been saying. Regardless, I give this about a few days. I give it at most 2 months before he does something. So he says something or he does something crazy, and then it's back on the fucking shit about, oh my God, it's so over for Kanye and shit like that. I do think that this time it's a little bit different because people are recognizing that it is essentially just a crazy ass outrageous song, but they're still banging to the song. I mean, a lot of the time when you talk about the song, there's a lot of these memes going around how race relations in the United States has never been better ever since the release of this song. And if you ever look in the comments, people ask, oh, why is that the case? And the reason why they give is simply because of the Jews. Ever since the whole October 7th of Israel and Palestine, there has been a sudden, very large increase when it comes to anti-Semitism on the internet, and it's pretty crazy. Yeah, I'm not gonna lie, it's fucking insane. But regardless of that, the whole Israel's atrocities onto the Palestinian people, or the like Hamas like attacks and atrocities onto Israelis, all of that stuff happening, which both of those things have happened. Let's put that straight onto the fact right now. But that doesn't really, I don't think it does play a fact into this, but at the same time, I still think that we need to hold Kanye accountable and, still recognize that Hitler is pretty a bad guy. But regardless, is this marketing or is it like some sort of self-destruction? Like, what is Kanye's end goal in this? Is there still hope for Kanye West to come back? No, we're never getting prime Kanye back ever again. Kanye should have retired after Donda, and then it would have been, that's it. He probably should have just left somewhere, stayed off the internet, just stayed disconnected, and then he probably would have lived happily ever after. Or not really, but still, I don't think we're ever gonna get a good Kanye West back ever again. We're ever gonna get a good album back ever again. It's not gonna happen. I don't think Kanye West is some genius playing chess while everyone's playing checkers. I think he's just spiraling out of control, and he's just expressing himself in the most extremist ways as possible as he can. I mean, a lot of his songs were ways for him to kind of express himself, his emotions, his thoughts, especially like he is like a troubled minded individual, so that's what he usually used to do a lot of the time. But I think right now he's doing that, but in a very extreme way. That's essentially all I have to say about this kind of situation. I wanted to keep this quick. I wanted to just kind of go over it quickly and kind of get your guys' opinions and thoughts on it, comments and discussion. Leave a comment, like the video, whatnot. But yeah, that's about it. See ya.
Come on. I've been so lonely, girl, I've been so sad and down. Couldn't understand why haters joked around. I wanted to be free with other creatures like me, and now I got my wish. Cause I know that I'm a gay fish. Gay fish, yo. Motherfucking gay fish. I'm a fish, yo. Going on a gay fish. It's alright, girl. Making love to the gay fish. All those lonely nights at the grocery store, in the frozen fish aisle, feeling like a whore. Cause I wasn't being true, even though everyone said that I had to make a switch. Now I know that I'm a gay fish. Gay fish, yo. Motherfucking